Why are we attracted to certain people? There is no definite answer to this question, as there are a number of ways of looking at the phenomenon. My presentation will focus mainly on the social perspective of attraction, and hopefully give you some insight as to why you are attracted to the people that you are currently attracted to. A few reasons that can be attributed to one's attraction to another are familiarity, if they see this person often, if they play complementary roles with each other, whether on a subconscious or conscious level, if the person displays a similar disposition to their own. Familiarity is the most basic principle of attraction. The vast majority of our friends live close to where we live, or at least where we lived during the time period that the friendship had developed. Obviously, friendships develop after getting to know someone, and this closeness provides the easiest way to accomplish that goal. The idea of familiarity goes along with the concept of the mere exposure effect, which suggests that people come to hold more positive attitudes toward familiar stimuli than toward novel, unfamiliar ones. An example of the mere exposure effect is a case involving a young Taiwanese man who wrote more than 700 letters to his girlfriend urging her to marry him. She did in the end marry, but not to the boyfriend, to the mailman. Two experiments were performed in order to explain the entailments of the mere exposure effect. In the first experiment, subjects viewed photographs of faces at various exposure frequencies and then rated them for likableness and similarity. Familiar people were regarded by the subjects as more likable and more similar to themselves. In the second experiment, subjects viewed stimuli at a single exposure frequency and then were told made-up information regarding the similarity of the people shown therein. Subsequent ratings of likableness and perceived familiarity revealed that people who seemed similar to the subjects were regarded as both more likable and more familiar. By a complementary role, I mean people who can quote-unquote complement each other in some way or another. They can either be healthy or unhealthy depending on what the complementary role is. An example of a complementary role is the rescuer and victim phenomenon. Someone might be attracted to people that they feel like they need to rescue or fix. This person would be considered the rescuer, and the person they are attracted to would be considered the victim. The rescuer feels inclined to fulfill this role every time he or she meets a potential quote-unquote victim. An example of a healthier complementary role may involve a woman who is bad at cooking being attracted to someone who is good at cooking, or perhaps a man not strong in the mechanical field being attracted to someone who performs in it efficiently. A person's fascination with the idea that someone else can do something well that they cannot might bring about in them an attraction of sorts. People tend to take to other people with whom they share similar beliefs and temperaments. The agreement or similarity between two people would likely result in a fondness for one another. A concept that goes along with this scenario is called the law of attraction, which simply states that people attract into their lives whatever they think about consistently. In other words, your dominant thoughts will find a way to manifest themselves. For example, if you are always thinking about how much you love your dog, you may be attracted to someone who walks dogs for a living, or just someone who loves dogs as well. In the end, that commonality may result in a relationship of some sort. Why do we love a certain person and not another? Because that person awakens in us a connection with our best or worst traits. We feel one with that person, such that by loving him or her, we feel as though we have also loved ourselves.